off and get this game started. Fair catch, called for and made. First down for this offense. Now on the option. A strong tackle and wrap up from the junior. Sometimes people say, if you're good enough, what's the big deal about going on the road? Well, if you're not careful, you might find out in a spot like this one, guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is a hostile environment, and you know you're going to be getting the opponent's A-game for this one. They've circled this one all off-season, so they better be ready to bring it today, David.
And the hardest thing to do in college football is to go on the road. Everything about it changes, and you want to shut this crowd up early. You don't want to give them belief, because if it starts to build throughout the game, look out. Yeah, and he decides to keep it and makes the right decision. Great job. Keeps the football. Picks up a huge chunk of yards. Nice play by the quarterback. Great decision.
Now from the 40, it's 1st and 10. They'll try the right side. Hey, midfield, he's got room. Slicing and dicing through this defense, and they've got it down to the 23.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm always keeping track as a defensive coordinator of where they're running the football. You can see they ran it to the right. Do they like this matchup? Is the right side of their offensive line really good? I'm going to be paying attention to that because that's a big gain. I got to make sure I shut this down the next time they run it.
The Black Knights will line it up on 1st and 10. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. Well, that was just like trying to run through a traffic jam. No place for the big fella to go.
Yeah, that's the whole key, Reese. You can't let the big fella get some steam. So you got to stop him in his tracks right away. The only way you do that is with penetration up front.
After losing a couple on that last play, here's 2nd and 12.
Get set, get set.
On the option. And a decent gain there before the defense makes the stop.
That's what's so great about these QB runs. They just chip away at the defense. And as this game goes on, these little QB runs, they're going to help keep 3rd downs manageable for this offense.
And the Black Knights are in the red zone. Here's the give off the left side. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Yeah, that's a really good job by the defense, because when you get in that 3rd and medium area, listen, you got to be worried about the run and the pass. Did a good job playing both. Got it stopped. Now forcing the 4th down.
Never a doubt. Right down the middle. And the first points of the day come on that field goal.
I'll tell you, this is not an easy place to play on the road, especially at nighttime. This crowd, they get loud. That's the way it's been so far, but they have a nice drive to open it up. They're able to execute. They put themselves in field goal range, knock it through the uprights. They did exactly what they needed to do, taking a 3-0 lead here early on the road. That's impressive.
Here comes the offense on 1st down.
3:25.
The give to the tailback. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27.
Man, that D tackle is a freak athlete. Did you see him come out of his stance and beat the offensive lineman, getting to the running back? Cat-like quickness.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. He'll option. Now the pitch. Just finds that little crevice, and he's still up. And he caught that pitch in stride and was off to the races. A big gain and a first down for this offense.
You know, as a defense, you can have the right call and the right guy in the right spot. But that guy's just too good. And how about the running back on that play? Just making it happen, breaking off the huge gain. It's tough to get these guys on the ground.
You know, I think a big part of this isn't necessarily scoring a touchdown on that play, but you're just trying to get your offensive line in the rhythm of the game. Let those big fellas get lathered up.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. They'll run the option. And how about that interior defense stuffing the run for nothing?
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
Now facing a 3rd and long. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. Here comes the option. Past the first down marker and still running. And he'll be ridden out of bounds, but not before a good pickup on that one.
And that's why it's so important offensively to practice these type of plays. These RPOs, these zone reads, these option plays, and just rep them over and over and over so the quarterback is making the right decisions intuitively and quickly.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. Power football with the run. He bullies his way all the way down to the 5-yard line.
All right, defense, that's what we can't do. We can't give up this many chunk yards on the ground. Got to commit more guys to the line of scrimmage. Got to get those running backs on the ground. That's way too easy.
And the Owls have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. The option look. And he was fortunate to get that one back to the line of scrimmage at the 5. No gain on the play.
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? The run up the middle, looking for the score. He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down at the 2.
You've got to think there's 11 guys on defense right now keying in on this running back. They've watched the tape. They've seen this guy gash defenses. He's scored a boatload of touchdowns this season. You're anticipating him getting the football here.
And they've been able to get within 2 yards. Now will they try to throw it in for the score?
Here we go.
On the option. The pitch. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown Owls.
And they just keep feeding it to their workhorse back to open this game. Great job in the open field. He's got tremendous vision. He can make people miss. You saw all of that on display here in the opening drive.
And the extra point is good. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. Army has it back in the offense, ready to go. Guys, that last trip a little disappointing having to take the 3.
Yeah, and I think, Jesse, you see so many offenses talk about getting yards and the tip.
There he goes to the right. The 40. Running inside the 20. And he takes it all the way. They couldn't
is such a weapon because he's so dangerous if he gets into the second level. Great vision, and then David shows you the speed.
Just straight wheels, erasing angles. A lot of times when you're chasing guys that are so fast like this, you're like, I got him, I got him. No, I do not. What a big, long touchdown run. Pad those stats, young fella.
Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. Oh, he's going to take a chance and bring it out. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. Rice has the ball back, and they're ready to send the offense back to the field. How about that blocking up front in that running game last time as they just walked it down for a touchdown, David?
And the big boys up front doing their job. Opening holes, the backs making plays, everything on the ground on that first drive worked.
And we know that this is the identity this coaching staff wants for this team, right? They want to be the most physical team on the field. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Moving the running back, trying to get the D to tip its hand. Finally pulled down, but not before. Moving the chains for a first down.
It's hard to stop great runners. It really is. That's why you run the football consistently. You got a big offensive line, a big physical unit. You run the football like this, man, it will take a toll later. But you got to tackle this guy over and over again who has this ability to make people miss and make big plays.
They'll start the drive here with first down to open this period. They'll give it to the back. Continuing to turn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48.
Well, this offense came into the game knowing they wanted to be physical. They wanted to establish the line of scrimmage, and they're running downhill right at this defense, and they're churning out positive yardage early.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. They'll move the running back to try to force the defense to adjust. They knock him down right there.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys and staying in their gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You can tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
Third and short now from their own 48. Running back searching for a hole. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
And when you play defensive end, it's all about getting off the football. You can tell, gets off the football really fast, gets in the backfield, gets the running back before he knows what hit him. What a play by the defensive end.
Gets his first one of the day away. Might be a little stiff. They only used him twice in that loss a week ago. He'll be guided out of bounds, but not before a nifty return on that one. The Cadets have it back as Army goes back on offense. After that last explosive running play, David, why not just try it again, right?
I mean, why not? Such a big, long, explosive run. You think, Jesse, maybe give it to him again? Or do you say, hey, QB, throw that thing out there?
I think you keep it on the ground, David. Honestly, I was watching the offensive line. They were fired up after that long touchdown run. You know they just want to go back out there again and get some push.
On the option. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands. Just an obvious holding call there, and one that just kills an offense's momentum. They'll line up for a second down play. Running back goes in motion. The give to the back. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
Listen, I know that's not a huge gain, but those run plays add up. They make you tackle the back every single play. Physically, you have to get some guy on the ground. It takes its toll throughout a fourth quarter game.
After the strong run on second down, third down coming. Do they do it again? Goes to the option. Runs through a tackle. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's third and long. Toss sweep to the right. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the first down.
I think the toss does a really good job of getting the football on the edge quickly. You know, you toss it out there to the running back. You better block the defensive end. That's priority number one. Good job blocking the defensive end. Get a nice positive game on the toss.
He'll aim it toward the sideline to try to make it tough on the return team. Rice takes over the Owls, ready to get that offense cooking again. That last drive fizzled out, Jesse. They had to punt it.
Yeah, they did. And, David, they're just going to have to do a better job this time around erasing the mental mistakes.
And just trying to solve the defensive riddle, understanding what they're trying to do to you and attack them. And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes. Playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the inside.
I bet that running back's eyes got so big. When he gets that handoff going to the right, he sees the huge holes. Yes, please.
The defense just didn't flow quickly enough. All of the blockers had leverage on their men.
And that defensive line has to get off the ball a little bit better, get some penetration to stop that outside run.
And the ball is free on the pitch. Bounced right back to them.
And those are so frustrating when you're a defense and you swarm to the football, you stick the quarterback and you make him cough it up just to have the other team recover it again and you don't get it. Still a good stick, still a good physical play. Keep hitting that quarterback.
They'll run the option. Squeezes out a couple of yards down to the 32.
And offenses want to continue to feature the run. They want balance. Even if it's not super successful, you can take it little bit at a time just to keep that defense honest.
A third down play coming from the 32 as they try to keep the drive going. To the ground to try to pick up the first. The Owls will move the sticks.
Nice job by this offense converting the third down. Listen, third and short, they know you're going to run the football, and they still did a great job being physical. Third downs has been such a struggle for this offense. Bottom 50, one of the worst in college football. Nice job on that play.
He'll toss it. That play just never had a chance. They knock him down for a loss of 5.
They're trying to run the football, and there's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
Second down here, and maybe they've got time to get one more snap off before the 2-minute warning.
On the set. In blue.
Motion trying to get the defense to show its hand. Now the pitch. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
Really nice play call there on second and long by the offensive coordinator. He was able to get a lot of that yardage back by running the football, and now, of course, it sets up a third and manageable situation.
Here comes 3rd and short from the 24, and this offense does not want to send out the field goal unit. Pre-snap motion in the backfield. Headed to the end zone. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Owl.
And that's exactly what you want from your offense. Man, late in the half, you want to execute and then punch it in physically on the ground. Take the lead going into the half. Take all the momentum. Nice execution on the drive by that offense.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Two very different emotions inside the locker rooms of these teams who did battle today. Oklahoma State looked like a serious force in what can only be described as a dominant win. This is a program with a case full of trophies, and they might just add some more hardware before this year is out. The circle of life in college football, where one team moves on feeling like kings, and the other heads home licking its wounds.
Hey, Kevin Connors, keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. Leaves it with the back. Really nice stop there from this senior leader.
Nice run there on 1st down. You know, this is a running back that gets better as the game goes on. So they're going to want to make sure they keep feeding him the football, let him get lathered up.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. Right back to the well. Just couldn't get away from the tackle. A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half.
You got to have that defense you know you can go to in running situations. Your base defense when you say, okay, this is where I'm going to start, and I'm going to stop the run, stuff it up front. My guys play big up front. Then if I need to add some blitzes to it later on down the road.
Oh, he just handled it poorly, and it's a fumble. Defense coming up with a huge fumble recovery.
And the unthinkable just happened to the offense. You're trailing in this game late in the 1st half. You're trying to be aggressive. You're trying to put some points on the board. You can't turn the ball over, and now all of a sudden they've given it back, and there's an opportunity for the opponent now to widen their lead.
He spun that wheel of fortune by challenging the call, and it does not go his way, and he loses the timeout. Rice has the ball back, and they're ready to send the offense back to the field. You want to talk about a drive where you impose your will? That's what they did, running it down for a touchdown, David.
There is nothing more demoralizing than that for a defense. To be physically pounded. The run is coming. You know it's coming, and you can't stop it.
Nothing the defense can do. That is mano-a-mano up front, and your guys getting a push. They know you're running it, and they still can't stop it.
Got 8 on 1st down, now looking at a 2nd and 2. Now on the option. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. They'll immediately call timeout. So they'll send out the field goal unit. And this one is anything but routine. A 48-yard attempt from the right hash. Knocked it right through, showing that big range from 48 yards out.
Winning the turnover battle is so important. You got to make these turnovers convert into points. They get the fumble recovery. Yeah, they didn't get a touchdown, but they're still able to get a field goal and put 3 points up on the board.
He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, that they get him on the ground at the 20. This late in the half, here's the question. How aggressive will the play calling be? Now they'll run it on the toss. That may not look like a huge run, but they'll take it as it gets them up to the 24. We got a timeout here late in the 1st half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. first snap coming before halftime. Might as well stick with him. They make the stop, and that is the end of the first half. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. The Black Knights will line up to kick off and start the second half. And he's going to run it back. I imagine he's going to get an earful on the sideline after bringing it out of the end zone and being knocked down at the 11. Rice takes over the Owls, ready to get that offense cooking again. They open this third quarter on top, and they built the lead on the strength of that running game.
And they made a huge statement, too, just proving to the other team that they're more physical, they're winning in the trenches. So here in the second half, David, just keep demoralizing this defense by pounding the football.
Yeah, and I'm not going to let that happen. I riled up my guys at halftime. We're going to put more people in the box, and we got to come out and meet the physical challenge of this offense.
They'll leave it with him. Picks his way ahead, pick up a 3, and gets it to the 20-yard line. A 3rd and short coming from their own 20-yard line. Wide receiver now comes in motion. On 3rd down, the jet sweep as they try to move the chains. Still on his feet at the 45. Off he goes. He's at the 10. And he'll take it in. They couldn't get him on the ground. Touchdown, Owls.
Speed kills this offense. They've got multiple guys that can burn you. You can see it doesn't take them long to light up the scoreboard.
And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. He'll call for the fair catch here. Army has it back in the offense, ready to go. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game. So, Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
They can really be aggressive after that last play. It's 2nd and 3. On the option. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Well, they're trying to get that run play going to the outside, but it's the defensive end who does a great job winning his one-on-one and forcing the negative play.
And this offense can ill afford to come up empty on this drive, already trailing by multiple possessions. Wide receiver coming across in motion. He'll ride his man on the option. He'll toss it. He's out of bounds, but not before picking up enough for the first down. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. They're facing a 3rd down. They'll run the option. And he's ridden to the ground, but there's also a flag down. Let's check the call. This defense happy with how that last play turned out, so they'll decline the penalty. And the Black Knights will line up to punt it away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. return. He only needs a sliver of daylight. And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. Offense getting set for first down. Here comes the option. Pretty good job of running to get two there to the 32.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
The running back has it.
Stopping the run is about physicality. It's about I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you up front. Really nice job by the defense, showing their strength, bowing up, stuffing the run.
A third and long coming up here.
Easy. Ready.
Across the 45. And they'll finally bring him down after he rips off a huge play.
I'll say, watching this offense this year, one of the things you have to be really happy about is their ability to move the sticks. This is one of the top 25 offenses in the country in getting first downs. That running back is one of the biggest reasons. He is a weapon.
A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
When you're a defense, it is stop the run first. That is your first responsibility. It makes the whole game easy. And right now, they got it going on the ground. The defense is going to have to change something up. These little tiny dink and dunk, dink and dunk. You keep doing this, they'll go all the way down the field on you, so you might want to get a little bit more aggressive.
Third and short here from the 35. Might take a shot here if this is 4-down territory. To the ground with the back. He gets it oh so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. I'm not sure this was ever a real decision. They'll go for it on 4th and inches.
Get set. Ringo.
They'll try it on the ground. They're able to make the stop, but he is beyond the line to gain its first down right. This drive has been exclusively on the ground. Could they be setting up a shot play? Now the quarterback changing the original play call. Able to pick up a couple down to the 27.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground. Take away that run game. Make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
The give to the back. And they try the middle of this defense, and that is not happening.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
Ready.
Third and long coming from the 27-yard line. You can make a field goal from here, just don't take a negative play. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. And they'll send the field goal team back out for the second time tonight. The kicker will try to punch one through from 41 yards away. He splits the uprights and puts 3 on the board. And now the lead is even bigger. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Week in and week out, guys, you never know what's going to happen in college football. Check this out. Tennessee is currently ahead in this one, but unlike the days of Neyland and Fulmer and Majors, this has not been a blowout today in Knoxville. They're up by 11 over Georgia. We'll circle back if anything big happens in this college football matchup.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. The option look. He'll toss it. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. Now on the move. Oh, there's the ball. Oh, looks as if the defense got it. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back to its own.
And that's fumbles in consecutive weeks. Coaches don't like that. They start to, you know what happens is the trust factor goes out the window. I don't want to run you as much because I can't trust you as much, especially in big spots. Got to hold them after the ball.
The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure. Everybody on the same page. A first down for the offense. On the option. And he'll pick up one. It brings up 2nd and 9. Rice hoping to cash one in from the red zone. On the ground, it's Atkins. They get him after he picked up 5 and got him inside the red zone down to the 16.
And, you know, when we talk about great third down defenses, it really starts with them getting stops on 1st and 2nd down. You've got to get those stops early in the drives to set up 3rd and long, so that's a missed opportunity on that 2nd down by this defense.
Now facing a 3rd down as they come back to the line after the break.
29 Philly, 2-9.
Toss sweep to the right. And he's tripped up, but not before picking up the first down.
This is a top 25 offense in college football, and I like what they do. They can run the football on 3rd downs when they need to. They show you right there. They've got some balance to them. They really know who they are. They have a good identity, and that's why they've been so successful this season.
Pushes ahead for 2 to the 7-yard line. Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. A little misdirection and the handoff on the counter. They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches.
And it's not a surprise who they gave the football to. When you get down in this area, they're going to call his name. The physical back, they're going to give him the football. They're going to use their identity of physicality and run game down here in the red zone.
Touchdown, Rice! And the punishment has been extended. That one puts them in really good shape to get back on the right track and get another W.
Yeah, you failed on 1st and 2nd, but on 3rd down, you give it to the big fullback, and he does the rest. Lower the shoulder, lower the pads, run physical, and get in that end zone.
No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. The Cadets have it back as Army goes back on offense. This one feels as if it's starting to get away from them a little bit, Jesse.
Yeah, Reese, there's a lot of teams in college football at this point that would just quit. So, David, we're going to find out a lot about this team right here.
Yeah, just running out of opportunities. You give opportunities away like this, you're trailing. Every possession is going to be important from here on out.
It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. The give to the left. He stopped at the 49 after gaining 10.
Well, it's a nice change-up call on offense because obviously in the 4th quarter, you're down by a bunch of points and everybody in the stadium is expecting you to throw it to get back in the game. So you dial up the run play and you get a huge gainer. Hopefully that can give this offense the momentum they need to try to scrape and claw back into this one.
Maybe this will breathe a little life into this offense, which has been flatlined in the 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
play is basically a microcosm of what today has been like for this offense. Just nothing happening. Not physical enough at the point of attack. They're being swarmed. They haven't had the balance necessary to win this game, and that's why they find themselves trailing late.
These DBs going to give a little cushion. Going to the running game. And a nice run there before the defense finally makes the stop.
And a nice job by the running back, finding space, getting downhill, making the good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
They'll try to power their way ahead. Close for the tackle. They thought they could just run it on 3rd and short, but this defense was there to make the stop.
Keep the foot on the pedal if you're on offense here. You got that yardage. Yeah, you didn't get the first down, but you've set yourself up now to go for it here and keep this drive alive.
Down by multiple possessions. You can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on 4th down. Good pick up there. He gets enough for the first down.
There's 11 guys on offense there, locked in and playing together. That was a critical 4th down in their opponent's territory. Everybody did an outstanding job of executing, and now they get to stay on the field.
On the option. He's knocked down at the 34, but they're sort of hitting them in the mouth with a 6-yard pickup there.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on 1st down, man, you are doing just that.
Handoff from the gun. Running with power. Tackled after picking up the 1st down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Black Knights will snap it on 1st and 10. They'll try to get the edge with the toss play here. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, this offense, man, it's been a struggle bus. And they haven't clicked yet. They haven't found what they're really, really good at. And I'll tell you this, it's in the 4th quarter, later in the game, obviously. They need to start airing this thing out. We got to get back in this football game because I don't know if y'all realize this, but we're down by a lot.
This drive facing a little adversity on 2nd and 11. Goes to the option. Now the toss. Works his way ahead for about 3 yards, stopped at the 23. Quite a bit of work to do on 3rd down from the 23, and this D would love to force a field goal try. They'll run the option. Now the toss. He breaks a tackle. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
They just haven't been able to get much going in this game. The defense has definitely had their number, and here they are late. You're asking yourself, why are they still running the football, trailing this much late in the game? But that's basically a microcosm of how this game has gone.
We hit the 2-minute warning, and this offense is desperate to make something happen and do it in a hurry. Down by multiple possessions. They can't come up empty on this drive in the 4th quarter. They'll go for it on 4th down. Now on the option. Oh, and the ball's out after that big play. All kinds of room to the right.
Well, the offense is coming off the field. They didn't have enough yards to get that 1st down anyway, but by putting it on the ground, they killed any shot at maintaining this drive, and now their defense has to take over in a sudden change situation.
Rice has the ball back, and they're ready to send the offense back to the field. And now one of the most satisfying moments in football, just watching that clock drain away while you have control of the ball, Jesse.
And this is definitely one of the best play callers, right, for an offensive coordinator. Getting ready to go into victory formation. So many good things happened today. It seemed like everything he was dialing today, David, ended up working out.
No doubt. They've put a lot of highlights together, put a great offensive game together, complete football game. They get the win. On to next week.
They'll run it, trying to drain time off the clock. And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up.
And I'm a fan of this, man. Run the football, eat the clock. We got the lead. This offense has put together a nice day, man. Like, just balance, rhythm, timing, play calling, everything has worked. That's why they built this lead. They've had a great game today.
And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag on the field. They'll decline the penalty here and let the result of that play stand. They already have a comfortable lead up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down. Try to get it on the ground.
How about that? You got the lead late in the game. Get some first downs. Salt this clock away. This is the exact position you want your offense in.
Imposing their will, right, David? I mean, we know we're running it. You know we're going to run it. We're trying to ice this game. There's nothing you can do to stop it.
All business today for this ball club. They come out and they get the win.
And that's all that matters. It's not always pretty. You don't always do everything you want to do or check all the boxes. But at the end of the game, Jesse, you want that W.
No doubt about it. They made the plays they needed to make in order to get this win. I thought the quarterback showed tremendous poise, good leadership throughout the course of the game.